Testing, testing, 1, 2, testing, testing, 1, 2. What's up, y'all? It's your girl Amanda, and we are back with another episode of Thompson and Stuff. So today is April 9th, so I think we're safe to say that we are out of Chicago's third winter. Today is going to be at least 65, 70 degrees. It's going to be a beautiful day. It was a beautiful day yesterday too, so beautiful weather and all that good stuff. I just want to thank y'all again for all this love and support. So I know you guys are sitting wondering how all the old episodes of Thompson Stuff got on YouTube. It's this magical thing I just found out about. It's called an RSS feed, and I figured out how to plug in the link to it, and that's how all the videos got on YouTube. So I know I probably have a lot of new YouTube viewers. So allow me to introduce myself. My name is Amanda Thompson. I am an author of 5 books, the A.J. Townsend collection, the Meet Angela collection, the Meridian Dream collection, which the second book is coming out very soon. Not famous, but I'm not a stranger. So thank you for all of your support. Thank you for watching every video. Shout out to the young man. I couldn't tell the gender of the person, but they left a comment saying that the the audio of one of the earlier episodes was bad. Well, I'm not attacking you. I just want you to understand that I didn't have the equipment I have. I didn't have the things I needed to be where I am now. So this was the early days when I was with my ex, and he would take my headphones and whatever I wanted to use for the podcast, and he would kind of return it in not great shape. So my brother ended up buying me a mic, so that's how, if you listen to later episodes, it's more clear audio, if you will. So I do apologize for that, but don't worry, we no longer have an audio issue. So I hope you enjoy the future episodes as well. And to the new followers, thank you again for share, subscribing. So after I plugged in all the episodes to Thompson and Stuff through the RSS feed, what happened was my YouTube views kind of grew. You guys know I do my review videos and stuff on books, movies, TV shows, and all that stuff. So once I plugged in all the episodes, my viewership went from 45 views per video to 400 and something. And it's thanks to you guys, new followers, old followers, and all that good stuff. So I'm forever, forever, forever appreciative of all of the support. So let's get into this episode. I know it's crazy. I'm working on getting more episodes closer together. So let's get into it. And thanks for listening again. Bye. Well, not bye. I'm not going nowhere. Just enjoy the transition music. Dang. So yesterday I woke up to the great news that Missy Elliott is going on tour with Timbaland. And the reason why this is great news, because of course Missy Elliott is super talented and she made a lot of hits, produced a lot of hits, produced a lot of hit makers. But it's great news because we haven't seen Missy Elliott on any tour in 20 years. So if you guys don't know about Missy Elliott, she has had some health issues, Graves' disease, and all that stuff. So also, I think she has some issues with some contracts where she couldn't release music, she couldn't perform music. And I'm not a big concert goer. I've only been to one other concert in my life, and that was to see New Edition. But I would love to see Missy Elliott because I do miss her stage presence. With the times we're in with big productions and concerts and stuff, I would think that Missy Elliott would have a very great concert production. If you watch her videos, the ideas of them super duper fly. When she was in basically a trash bag, inflated trash bag. Lose Control was a great video. I think was that Lose Control where she had Tommy Lee in the video too. Either way, I think it's gonna be great. And plus with Timberland, who she's been working with for almost 30 plus years, oh my god, this is gonna be mind blowing. And I also think that this is going to be an expensive concert to go to. I think tickets going to be at least like $200 for like the nosebleeds. And I only think this because, you know, she's Missy Elliott. Everybody wants to see Missy Elliott. I think every generation knows who Missy Elliott is. So it's not like you go see your favorite rapper who had a hit in like the 1990s and then their tickets are now like $35. No, 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 no. It's Missy Elliott. I think her tickets are going to be very expensive to obtain, but I can't wait. And I've seen Missy Elliott over the years since her medical diagnosis. She's been doing great. She looks great. She dresses fly. She's always in the studio. So we can't take that away from her. You know, every time I see her write on the little notepad with her handwriting, she's always in the studio, which is amazing. So I cannot wait to hear if I do go to the concert because, you know, I don't know no tour dates yet, but once I hear them, I'm gonna try to get some tickets because I want to hear the old hits. I want to hear what she's been working on. I want to hear Timbaland stuff. I am a fan of Timbaland, have been for years. If you guys don't remember, he produced like Genuine's the Bachelor album, which came out in like '96. You know, Pony, he produced that. What else he produced? I mean, he produced a lot of Aaliyah music. He produced a lot of Snoop Dogg music too. If you guys didn't know that, like if you listen to The Last Meal, and no, not that's Pharrell. Sorry. So Timbaland, The Last Meal, it's a lot of Timbaland work on there too. So I just keep that in mind. The man has a catalog and a lot of money. So I can't wait to see the Missy Elliott tour. See how that turns out. See what's gonna happen. So, oh, I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. Um, Aoki Lee Simmons. So Aoki Lee Simmons is the daughter of Russell Simmons and his ex-wife Kimora Lee Simmons. She's, I think, the youngest daughter they have because Kimora has 4 kids. So she has 3 boys and the older 2 girls who were like grown and in college by the time the boys were born. She, well, this is a timeline, okay? She debuted her new boyfriend, who was a 65-year-old restaurateur from, I think, New York. And, you know, they were smooching all over St. Bart's, and she was on a video calling him her boyfriend and all that stuff. And then a few days later, it came out that they broke up. Let me take a sip of my water because I'm going to break this down for you, okay? By the way, drink for today is Splash Refresher. It's a flavored water. If you guys shop at Sam's Club like I do, because one, Sam's Club takes MasterCards, and two, I think that Costco is an aesthetic. I'm not a fan of Costco. I'm a fan of the Members Mark, not Kirkland. Sorry, not sorry. Y'all know I am all for age gap couples. She is beyond the age of 18, and the guy is 65. She's grown. It is kind of weird, but again, she's grown. But I don't think this was an actual couple situation. I think she's going through something mentally. Two, it was a sugar daddy, sugar baby interaction, and she just kind of blurred that line and called him her boyfriend. I think that this guy, I've never heard of this man before in my life, so he's probably one of those millionaires that like live a very quiet behind the scenes life. He doesn't like the spotlight or anything, and she kind of brought that on him, and I guess he couldn't take the heat, so he just decided to quote unquote break things off. That's my opinion. Um, and when I circle back and say that something is mentally wrong, I think something's not right upstairs because I do look at her and I say I see something erratic. She's erratic behavior basically. It does concern me. I am concerned as a person. Like I'm not trying to start no mess, but it's like I kind of see erratic behavior. Um, and she kind of brought unwanted attention to the guy. I think that's why it ended so quick. So and then, Russell, he was like, basically I support her no matter what, and she has my unconditional love. And Kimura wasn't going for that. Y'all know Kimura is I know she's half Asian, but she is also a black woman from St. Louis. So I don't think she was going for that either. So, but they did break up. And I just, I think Aoki needs to take time away from social media because that type of behavior, the erratic behavior, is like it's kind of scary. She, I think, is still going through things with her family, with her dad, and I think she just need a break from it all. And then she could find someone, maybe an older man, a little less older, because 65 and 22 is kind of a gap. Like, yeah, I'm in a age gap situation, but we're only like 13 years apart. But that 44-year age, I wouldn't. No, that would be too much. And plus, if you decide to marry him for the love, like some people who are naive would think, um, you have to take care of him for the rest of your life. Well, for the rest of, I mean, not for the rest of your life, but he's 65, in his 60s, and I mean, men kind of fall apart in their 70s. So 70s, 80s, if they keep up with themselves, because of course, like you have men like Smokey Robinson and Billy D. Williams who are like in their 80s and they take really good care of themselves and they're still very mobile without a cane and all that stuff. So, the guy does have money, so yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. All right. Well, you know what? No, I still do think it was a sugar daddy situation though, because didn't she joke with her dad that if she doesn't give him money, she'll find a sugar daddy? I think that is the sugar daddy. But either way, I think it is a sugar daddy, sugar baby situation, and she brought unwanted attention to him. So yeah, there's that. That's what I think. Point blank, period. But then, we don't know. She's Aoki Lee Simmons. She's a model. She's graduated from Harvard. She might pop out with another man. Who knows? Who knows? Um, I was going to talk about the Cat Williams situation, but why is it every time an older, like more seasoned person in the industry have like a show or something, a fight breaks out? I don't understand that. Like, it happened when I was at the New Edition concert like 2 or 3 years ago. It happened in our section, but well, not, I don't know how to describe it because it was at the United Center. It was on our side, I should say, but it was like a few rows up. Not a couple, a fight broke out. I remember a lady being escorted out. She had to miss the rest of the concert. I think she was banned from there too. I don't know. But why did that always happen? I always wonder that. I just don't understand. Like, old people want to fight or something. I don't know. The $30 million heist in LA, and what happened with that is it it was probably an inside job, because how the heck do you steal $30 million from like a money like safety place? I don't know what to really call it, but yeah, $30 million stolen, gone. It was an inside job. It was probably like someone who applied for the job knew what they were doing and knew how to get to everything, knew how to get their connects in there and steal all the money. That's what I think. It's like they say, it's like Ocean's 8 or something. I think that's what truly happened. But I read online that it probably will not be solved. So they probably did like a good, clean, very conscious job of stealing that money. And they say it's unsolved. Dang, y'all gave up hope that quick to say that it's unsolved. That's terrible. That is terrible. Um, my favorite baby mama, baby daddy couple, divorced couple, and y'all know I'm being sarcastic when I say this because I can't stand them. Brad and Angelina. Brad and Angelina, they don't know when to stop. They don't know when to keep things quiet anymore. And I'm not saying that to be an a-hole, but now Angelina is coming out saying Brad abused her at the airport in 2016. Um, I think this is all during a custody battle, which I'm confused because isn't these kids grown? I mean, I remember when the twins, the boy and the girl, was born, so they probably got to be at least like 15, 14. They got to be like at least early teenagers now. I just, ever since they got a divorce, it's just, they've been so annoying. I'm sorry. Just so annoying. Like, they settled their divorce after so many years, and now they got to settle for custody. Can't the kids just say, I want to live with mommy, I want to live with daddy? And these two don't ever have to interact with each other ever again. And if you want to like if you want to do like 50-50, you can always like drop off the kids and just leave. I don't know. Maybe the reason why I have this view is because like my parents did the same thing. Like they quote unquote co-parented me and my brother, but once I turned 18, they didn't speak to each other. I'm 29 now. They haven't spoken to each other in 11 years. I don't always wonder why why parenting can't do that. I don't know, but they're getting on my nerves. I hope in 2025 they could just co-parent however they co-parent, because I don't even think they both live in LA anymore, or they do, or they're just not there in LA as much. Just co-parent and be quiet, because the divorce is final. Get 50-50 custody, and there's that. It's not hard. Y'all got money. I'm sure it is not that hard either. So it ain't hard. It ain't that hard. Did you guys see the solar eclipse? If that's what it's called. So what happens basically is, in layman terms, the sun or whatever gets partially covered and it goes dark. So I don't really care for that stuff. I was asleep for most of it. I woke up because in my house I have a lot of great natural lighting thanks to all the windows. And then I woke up. Well, I was going back and forth to sleep because I every day this week I have been going to bed at like 5 in the morning and getting up at like 1 p.m. That's a long story on why I don't want to get into, but yeah. So I'm waking up, going back to sleep, waking up, going back to sleep. So when I woke up, the morning that was officially morning when the sun is out, the birds chirping. Sun is out, cool. It's gonna be a great day. It's nice, 70 degrees outside. Blah blah blah. Lay back down for a couple more hours. Then my house gets dark. I'm confused. I'm like, well, it's not gonna rain. It's not supposed to rain today. It's supposed to be a nice day, 72 and all that stuff. So I'm like, whatever. And then I walk out my room, and my house, again, beautiful natural lighting, is partially lit. So it's getting darker and darker. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? This is scary stuff. I'm scared. Is the purge coming and all that? I don't know. So then I leave because yesterday I didn't want to be in the house. I just wanted to go and enjoy my car and just, take a drive, go to Five Below and all that good stuff. And it was just so awkwardly lit outside. It's like I was wearing like transitional like what's it called? It's in your glasses anyway. Transitions. I felt like I was wearing transitions, but I was wearing my regular glasses, right? So I was like, oh, this is a little weird. It's a little weird. But ran my errands, and then everything went back to normal sun view. Beautiful day, 72 degrees. Had on my jeans and a t-shirt. Whatever. So now that I've experienced that, um, why did schools close for this? Because it was only like an hour. I mean, they could have took the kids out and just take a look at it and then go back in and resume their work. You know what I mean? So I just don't understand. Only for like an hour and a half, the world or the views of the world was like that. So I don't know. It's weird. Y'all just be closing schools for anything these days, I guess. I don't know, but it was kind of a weird experience. I mean, it happened like 7 years ago, but of course, 7 years ago I was 22. What was I doing at 22 years old? I was trying to figure out life post college, so I didn't have time to watch the world go dark for like 20 45 minutes. So I don't, of course, I don't remember that. So yeah. Um, Jennifer Lopez is being accused, I should say, of rebranding her concert to a greatest hits concert. And also I heard that she's been canceling shows too. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. We all know why. We all know why. It's because, these stories, like if you go on TikTok, I mean, one night, like 2 weeks ago, I'm going down a rabbit hole at 2 o'clock in the morning on TikTok because people are telling stories of how Jennifer Lopez is just not a nice person. And I think that those stories are killing her, though they're killing her, her ticket sales. And it's sad. And it's like crazy because Jennifer Lopez does not come from money. She comes from working class parents in the Bronx. And I remember watching her humble beginnings, and then all of a sudden she blew up. And why does she act like that now? I don't understand. So, people who are on TikTok, they were telling stories of how, you can't look at her, you can't talk to her. Now, I'm not a social person, and I do get freaked out when someone does talk to me because I'm I have social phobia. But if somebody does talk to me, I'm not going to get out of my face. That's rude. I will still speak to you. So, Jennifer, what is she socially awkward? She just has so much money that she has to treat everybody like dirt. That's why I cannot stand Hollywood now. I don't care to ever be like super uberly famous like Jennifer Lopez or Oprah because it's like Hollywood is a weird place. It really is. Jennifer Lopez, Diddy, who we're gonna get into in I think the next block of news I'm gonna do after the transition music. I mean, I just can't live like that. I can't just mistreat people for what? Because you have way less money than me. That's just not gonna work. And there's more and more stories that come out, and then people cover it up. You see these pictures with Jennifer and some fans, and she looks as nice as she can be, but people are like, no, she's a total witch and all that stuff. And I have one question. If anybody knows, you can answer in the comments. You can hit me on um, Instagram. I'm curious because I used to be a Jennifer Lopez fan. When J to the Low came out, that was my album. I still play that album, but I'm not a follower of Jennifer Lopez. I don't follow her on those social media and stuff. But does Jennifer Lopez have a charity? I always wonder that because I've never heard of. Does she have something like the Jennifer Lopez Foundation or something? I have to look that up because I never hear of her donating stuff to charity and stuff. So I do wonder about that. Um, Gypsy Rose. Let's move on to Gypsy Rose. So Gypsy Rose, if you guys don't remember, is the young lady who killed her mother after years of mistreatment. She was in jail, and then all of a sudden she got out of jail, and she became this big celebrity. So she had a husband, if you guys remember her husband, and she defended him on social media and stuff and saying how his deed was bomb and blah, blah, blah. Well, she's getting a divorce from him. They broke up. And I wonder why. I heard that, he was mistreating her and guilting her and all that stuff. But then again, he was on TikTok, like, saying, I'm not doing good. I miss her, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know what that's all about. But then, the kicker is, y'all, she got back with her ex-fiance. Now, I don't think this is the fiance that killed the mother for her. I don't know. Because I don't know the whole situation. But it's just messed up that she went on the internet, she defended her husband, carried this man around, interview to interview, singing his praises and all that stuff, and then they're getting a divorce. Okay, Gypsy Rose. That does sound kind of messy though. Like you praising this man, you saying he's the best and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden you getting a divorce. Dang, that's messed up. That's real messed up. And he on like social media looking real bad. Dang. The last thing I want to talk about in this block of news is Shannon Doherty. Shannon Doherty is currently battling, I think, stage 4 cancer, and it has spread it to her bones. And she went on her podcast, which I do follow on Apple Podcasts. It's a pretty good podcast. She has guests. She talks to people. She talks about her experiences of having cancer. And she is now saying that she is selling her possessions. You know, I don't want to. I will say just in case, and I'm not going to finish that statement because I don't I want her to win in this battle with cancer. I want her to be okay. But she said that she's selling her possessions. That way her mother can, not worry about everything she has because she's still on this earth. But her podcast is really a great podcast. I've been following some really great podcasts on recently. Let me open my podcast thing so I can tell you guys who I follow. I do love everybody's podcast shows. Let's see. YG has a podcast. 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, Safe Place with Lil Yachty, All the Smoke, American Criminal. American Criminal is basically a podcast that talks about the cases. It did start with the Menendez brothers, which was really, really good. I follow Amy and TJ, which is still messed up how they got together. Angie Martinez, Andrew Schultz. They need to bring back Archetypes with Meghan Markle because that was good. Baby, This is Kiki Palmer, The Velvet Rope with David Yontef, Beneath the Surface with Crystal Hefner. Shameless plug, I did do a book review on that book. You can go on my YouTube channel and find it. Bernie's Daughter, Big Boy, Blocks with Neil Brennan. Just, I follow a lot of podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts as my day goes by, so can't help that. But yeah, let's take a break and I'll be back with more news. And I just knocked my mic over, so sorry about that, y'all. So, in Kardashian news, Kim Kardashian and Odell Beckham split after 6 months of dating. Y'all know what I think about that? Them people weren't really together. I think they never was together. They was just photo standing side by side at a party. And people just took it and ran with it. They're not together. They're not together. No. Because as many children as Kim Kardashian has and as many children as Odell Beckham has, I would think they are too busy to date each other. And then I don't think Odell Beckham lives in LA. Yeah, Odell Beckham don't even live in LA. And yeah, Kim's always out of town. She's doing 5 million things at once. Isn't she doing American Horror Story? Is she still trying to be a lawyer? Is she still trying to run Skims? Yeah, no, I don't. They never was together. It was just something made up, and now it's being reported all over. That sucks. That's the worst thing about being famous is they say, "Oh, you're dating so and so." I only seen one picture of them, and then they're together. And then 6 months wasn't when she was with Pete Davidson. By the 6th month, he was all up on her social media and they were all up on each other and they were seen a lot everywhere. And then Pete was driving her cars and taking her kids to Walmart and all that stuff. Yeah, they weren't together like that, Odell Beckham. Because I can't see it. I'm sorry. They weren't. No. It was just all made up for show. All made up for show. I have a question. What the heck is wrong with people on social media? Do y'all not care what y'all post on social media? So, I'll give y'all an example. There was a lady on there, and she was telling how her kid was doing something in her bedroom. She had a canopy bed, and basically the child was naked. So she decided to take a picture of the child naked, but put an emoji over his private area and still posted it on the internet. And the lady, she didn't seem remorseful about it. It goes to show that social media has kind of ruined our minds a little bit. People were telling her, "Hey, take this down." People were bookmarking it. And I was like, oh my God, telling her to take it down. But she was just not even bothering with it. I don't know if she took it down now, but this was like a week or so ago. My point of this situation is like, do people even think before they post nowadays? I want to talk about Diddy in a minute, but I do also want to talk about the young lady who called his daughters the Combs twins alpacas. Do y'all like stop to think how it's gonna affect? And kudos to the lady's comments who talked about the Combs twins, who said, who basically defended the Combs twins and not her words. Because that's just not cool to say. Like, I watch social media every day. And it's just like, sometimes I feel like I'm losing brain cells. Just seeing these comments and, you know, I don't understand. Like, somebody help me understand, why do people do this? I'm just so disappointed. Like, if I did not have this podcast, my graphic t-shirt store, my books, I would not be on the internet at all. I would not show my face. I would not tweet, do none of that stuff. But it's like, unfortunately, because I have these things, I have to be on social media. And I do see it, and it just bothers me. And I feel like every podcast I have, I just feel like I go on a rant about this. It just bothers me that people are not remorseful over what they say and what they post. The lady who talked about the Combs twins, she was not remorseful what she said about them too. She was going back and forth with people in the comments, like like basically in a mood of, yeah, I said it, so what? You know what I mean? Like, I I don't get it. I just don't. I don't understand. I don't understand why people have an urge to post their children in the most, vulnerable times, if I could say. It's just all sad to me and disappointing. And that lady, I don't know. People were saying, call CPS, blah blah blah. I don't understand. Somebody just help me understand. I just wanted to add that in there because I've been seeing that a lot for the past few months, and I just feel like somebody should speak up and say something about it. But I want to move on from that. I just want to put that out there, and I need to adjust my mic. And y'all, I was taking a break. I was going to wash my hands, and I almost knocked over the lamp off the table. Like I did knock over my mic when I was wrapping up the last news section. So if you guys do hear some sort of feedback, or if your ears start to get like kind of with weirded sounds and all that stuff, my bad. I'm sorry. I just been so clumsy and tired and just anxious and bored. So I do apologize for that in advance. But I want to move away from why people do not think on social media. I mean, I can sit up here and complain about it all the time, but people are still going to do it. People are still not going to be remorseful about it. And what also sucks about social media is that it isn't going to be around for a long time. So it's a possibility that the kids can grow up, and then they could like see what the heck mom and dad been posting 7-8 years ago on social media, and it's them in their most vulnerable state. So I don't like it, but what can you do? Unless they do some sort of like move to ban it or something, move to ban posting children. I don't know if I could go for that though. I mean, people do post like innocent pictures of their children, but the way some of these people post their children, and don't forget humiliating them when they might have a sensory issue, or telling them, like, I've been also seeing the videos where they take their kids to salons and stuff, and the kids kind of have a hard time because either they're tender headed, or B, they might have a sensory issue and they don't want to be touched and all that stuff. But in the comments, I see, pop that child, shut that child up, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, this child might have some sort of special needs or something. Y'all want to... I'm so disappointed in people these days. Safe to say, I think that's where I'm going with this. I'm just disappointed in how people treat people these days and are very open about it. But I want to move on to the Jackson family. So, if you guys don't know, Michael Jackson's estate is selling the catalog and all that stuff. And the only person that's trying to stop it, I guess, is the youngest son, Blanket, or aka BG Jackson. And then it came out that he was beefing with his grandmother. Well, not beefing, but like kind of feuding with her through the courts, I should say. And I don't understand about that. Like, why sell the catalog? Didn't we learn anything from Prince? And then also, with Michael Jackson gone, that catalog is like worth a lot of money and ownership and all that stuff. So I don't know what's wrong with people. Like, why are we selling the man's catalog? I don't understand that. But also, another piece of Michael Jackson news that came out was that with the accusers or something, they might release pictures of naked Michael Jackson photos, which, in my opinion, I do not want to see. Let the man rest in peace. That's kind of disrespectful too. Why are you trying to release pictures of the man nude and he's been gone 15 years? Not respectful at all. I don't understand. Why don't these people just leave Michael Jackson's estate alone? Leave the catalog alone. Leave the man alone. Leave the accusations because they weren't real. They weren't true. The man was found not guilty in 2005. Like, just let the man go, because it's only that they're after the green, and y'all know what I mean with the green. They're after the green, and they just won't leave him alone. And I hate it for this family. Like, grandson and grandmother is kind of going head to head. The grandmother's like 93 years old and all that. No, I don't like this one bit. I don't like none of it. And I don't hear no like back and forth with Elvis's estate. Well, that's because Priscilla Presley, she kind of runs everything. And in my opinion, she does kind of run a type ship. I think it was originally supposed to go to Lisa Marie Presley, but we all know Lisa Marie Presley is not here anymore. So I don't like that they do this with Michael Jackson's estate. And plus, he's a black artist. I think that's another reason why. Like, not the full reason why, but another reason why, I should say. Y'all know, what's their name? Hall & Oates is going at it with each other in court. You know what else the iconic duo is going at it in court? Chad Hugo and Pharrell Williams, and the Pharrell Williams, I was going to say. Members of the Neptunes, they're going back and forth over the usage of the name. The thing is, though, like, Chad Hugo lives such a quiet life, but he's had plenty of success. And I don't understand why they're going back and forth with the Neptunes. I didn't really get a chance to really look into this story, but they're going back and forth. I just hate that because they made so much money and so many hits. Like, I was listening to Lap Dance like right before I started recording this podcast. I forgot how much I fucking love that song. I forgot how much I fucking love NERD. I forgot how talented these people are. And why the hell are they going back and forth with each other in court? Like, it just freaking sucks. Like, all of your childhood artists that you listen to. I grew up listening to a lot of Hall & Oates too. But the Neptunes was a big part of my life because, you gotta understand, like, they produce a lot of the hits of my childhood. One of my favorite, I was also listening to this last night. If you guys know The Call by the Backstreet Boys, but there is a remix, the Neptunes remix with the Clips, I think is it the Clips or just Clips? I don't know. But they had that remix, and I just forgot how fucking talented these guys are, and they were in court going back and forth. I just hate it. I hope they get it together. They were childhood friends, so I mean, of course, they say never do business with your friends, but oh my god, please, like, we need more hits. Or that's just me being selfish asking. But yeah, they're back and forth in court. I hate that for them. They've done so much for music. Rest in peace to Louis Gossett Jr. I always looked at Louis Gossett as like the grandpa I never had. Like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, he played a lot of grandfather roles, and I always thought he was my grandpa in my head. My grandfather, my dad's father, passed away when I was 20, and my mother's father is still alive. I don't have much of a relationship with him. It's no beef or nothing. Just, he just never was a present grandfather. So I never knew what it was like to have a grandfather like that. My dad's father lived in Michigan till I was like in my late teens, early 20s, and I didn't even know he moved here until like much later after that. So Louis Gossett, he played like in Daddy's Girls, the Tyler Perry movie. He played in that one gospel show on BET Plus. Just it's a long list, and he was a great actor. He was in Roots. I think he was in Roots too. Just a great actor. Gonna miss him. He lived a great life. He was, I think he had like an Oscar or Emmy or something too. But yeah, rest in peace, Louis Gossett Jr. Grandpa in my head. And let's see. Beyonce has a new album out. Guys, no, I'm not a big Beyonce fan, but I do like the version of Jolene that she re-recorded. It's the way I always thought that the lady who the woman portrayed in the song was going to talk to Jolene if she got close to her man. You know, the lady looked at Jolene like she was Cousin Faith from Soul Food. I ain't mad at it. I love the version. It's got a little bit of modern twist to it because you got to understand Jolene is Dolly Parton's song from like the 1970s, 1980s or something. I didn't listen to the full album because, again, I'm not a big Beyonce fan, but I did like Jolene. So it is on my Apple Music. Hold on, I got to take a sip of water. It's the best. Zero sugar. Let's see, 0 calories and electrolytes. Just what I need, right? Just what I need. Tori Spelling finally files for divorce. I'm not surprised because Tori and Dean needed to be divorced. And you know what? Better late than never, but Tori should have divorced Dean around True Tori time. I remember watching True Tori, and I think it's still on Tubi. Tori was tormented on that show. She tormented herself. She was tormented by her husband. And I guess she wanted to wait till the kids got older. I mean, completely understand because when True Tori came out, I think a couple of her kids weren't born yet, but most of the kids were young. So she did file for divorce. I also do follow Tori Spelling's podcast as well. It's a little bizarre because she does talk about the final bad days of her marriage. She does acknowledge that she knows Dean's girlfriend. She hangs around the girlfriend, which I think is quite all right, as long as there's no drama. And it's for the kids. I think it's perfectly fine. I'm all for blended families. See, I'm all for blended families because I have everything that is needed for a blended family, but people just don't know how to act and don't know how to get along and don't know how to treat people. And that's all I'm going to say on that. So, yeah, like I'm all for it. It's a great episode. It's not super long. It's not like an hour and 30 minutes of, you know, um, like of her stopping and feeling bad for herself. She's telling stories. She's going into detail of things. So I do hope that she continues with her podcast. I think now that with podcasting is like a very great money making tool. She can tell stories. She can have guests and all that stuff. Because I think she had a podcast before, but it's like one of them recap podcasts. Like I follow Holly Madison and Bridget Marcourt, and what they do is they recap episodes of Girls Next Door, and that's what she did with one of her 91210 castmates. But now this is her podcast, her individual podcast, so that's always good. Random women being attacked in New York City. Why? I don't know. And that's why reason 1,173 million why I will never move to New York City. I don't like big cities anyway. If I were to move to the state of New York, I would probably move outside the city or move to New Jersey or something. But I would never live in the city. Like city life to me is very overstimulating. I just couldn't do it. I've been raised in the suburbs my whole life. I just couldn't do it. I don't like apartments because I don't like living close to people. I like, I mean, like, I live in my house, my mom's house, and our neighbors are literally like, if you look out the window, their house is right there. That's fine. That's what I grew up with. But once I get situated in my own situation, I'm gonna have a little land. I don't want to look at my neighbors. I don't want my mailbox at the end of the driveway. So I always thought that was cool. But it's messed up that women are being attacked in New York, and I hope that the people who are attacking them are getting prosecuted. One of the women was actually Bethany Frankel. Like, somebody attacked Bethany Frankel. I think that was Bethany Frankel. Yeah, it was Bethany Frankel because it was on TMZ. Somebody randomly attacked Bethany Frankel. Like, what the hell? Like, what is wrong with people? But it's also the homeless people with kind of like mental illnesses that could be doing this too. I'm not, well, pointing the finger, but I'm just saying. Um, let's see. Larsa Pippen says Marcus Jordan wasn't my guy. She said that after they spent time separate, and I'm like, how do you determine that? Like, it's weird. How is he not your guy when y'all was seen practically everywhere together? Y'all was trying to move in together, get a house together in Miami. Also, you had a podcast together, which was a business deal. So how was that not your guy? I don't understand that. Larsa, girl, he had money. Granted, it's his father. Well, not really, because he had a shoe store. A very successful shoe store down in Florida. He could take care of you, Larsa. You said that's not your guy? Like, who is your guy? Really? I want to know. Because he practically brought you a lot of opportunity. The podcast. Wasn't he on, like, I don't watch Real Housewives of Miami, only Beverly Hills and Atlanta. Those I crossed the line with the other two. I don't know nothing about no Giselle and Robin and all that stuff. Like, you say he's not your guy, but he brought you so much opportunity. I don't understand that. Like, somebody tell me something here. I don't understand. And then they're broken up, so they're done for good. So I just need answers. Like, he wasn't my guy. What? Y'all, listen, if you can make money with your partner, that's your partner, that's your person. And with that separation anxiety podcast, like, I bet that was bringing in good numbers too. That wasn't my guy. Girl, please. Mm-mm. That was your guy. That's the one that got away, Lars. So he'll forever be the one that got away. And then, one day the years are gonna pass and Lars is gonna have so much regret. Oh my god, he was my guy. I let him get away. Older or not, I don't care. That was your guy. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand that. The last piece of news for this block of news I want to talk about is Diddy's house has got raided. So they raided his house in Miami. They raided his house in LA. The big pretty White House in LA. They raided, and there's footage of it because Misa Hilton is pissed off. She's ready to sue some people. So they raided those two homes, which was weird because Diddy was in Florida, but he was getting ready to take the Combs twins to the Bahamas, and that's when kind of the media stir up happened of, oh, Diddy's trying to run. He was just simply, I mean, I'm not trying to defend him, but this is what it looked like to me because there was a video out on TMZ. Diddy was walking around. He looked kind of like not there. I couldn't really see his face, but he didn't show any emotion from what I saw. He was not handcuffed. There was no police officers near him. He was just walking around like, when something stressful is going on in your life or your family, and you kind of are at their home or in the hospital. If they're in the hospital, you walk around like kind of stressed out. He kind of had that demeanor going on. I guess the people who did the raiding, they stopped him at the airport. So they didn't go to the Bahamas because Diddy is still in Florida. The LA house did get raided. Justin and Quincy Combs were there. And the thing that bothered me was that they were in handcuffs, but they are named in, you know, lawsuits and stuff, but I think the raid was for Diddy, and they didn't do anything to Cassie and all that stuff. So they're basically saying it's a RICO charge. I didn't like the fact that they were handcuffed like that. And then I was watching the video because they did like a whole live stream on CNN. Somebody was dragged out the house. I know a drug mule was arrested, but I think that was in Florida. But it was at the LA house. Somebody was arrested, and they were like dragging him out the house. It wasn't one of the sons. It looked like it was probably a manager or a son's assistant or something. I don't know. But I didn't like the way that man was treated either. So then more drama came out. Lawsuits came, or not lawsuits, but court documents came out that who was that? Young Miami from City Girls. I don't know. I get them mixed up, and I don't know City Girls that good. But Young Miami and Daphne Joy, who is the mother of 50 Cent's son, they were labeled as sex workers, and then that gave 50 Cent like the clear to have a field day on social media with Diddy, and now 50 Cent is saying, he wants full custody of his son, and then Daphne was like, you didn't even see the boy for like probably 5 times out of the ton. It created drama in Diddy's life, and then it created drama in 50 Cent's life. So, this is the crash of Hollywood, I think. Like I said before, people talking about Jennifer Lopez, Harvey Weinstein, Diddy. Let's not forget what I talked about. Well, I don't think I talked about it yet, but Dan Snyder, because, he was the showrunner for most of the TV shows from my childhood and some from like other generations' childhood. I think Hollywood is crashing, and again, that's why it's a cult to me now. I want no parts of it. If I were to choose between fame and fortune, I would choose the fortune and disappear, because this is a lot, and it's safe to say that Diddy is not out of the woods either. Like, I hear that there's more lawsuits. Cassie is working with the feds, so there's no telling what she's telling them. So this is far, far from over. And then I think Christian Combs is involved in like some sort of sexual assault lawsuit. And then I was reading on Lipstick Alley that the feds have like some sort of audio of Christian, like, I guess taking advantage of a girl or something. But then again, doesn't Christian have a girlfriend? And if there is audio, why haven't we heard it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, somehow it would have emerged. Like, it would not have taken this long to quote unquote emerge. So I don't understand that. But it is truly the end of Hollywood as we know it. Like, I remember growing up and we was pocket watching Diddy. We'd see all the white parties and stuff, but those days are over now, I guess. I don't know. We'll see what's next for Mr. Diddy. So many years ago, there was this young lady who was I guess a pageant baby. I don't know what they're called, children in pageants. But there was a little girl called Honey Boo Boo. Now, I'm not familiar with Honey Boo Boo. I didn't really watch the TLC channel and Dance Moms and Pageant Queens and all that stuff. But as years went by, Honey Boo Boo grew up. She became Elena Thompson, and then they started following her family. Mama June, her father, I think her father's name was Sugar Bear, her sisters, Pumpkin, Chickadee, and their spouses and all that stuff. So I was scrolling through TikTok one day, and I saw clips of Mama June's family crisis. And it was basically talking about how her mom was stealing money and, using it for drugs and all that stuff. So safe to say that my attention was grabbed. So I started tuning in. And I just want to say that this whole situation is kind of sad. Like, the young lady, she grew up. She's not in pageants anymore, to my knowledge, and all she wanted to do was go to college and just become a nurse. I think for babies, there's a certain term for it, but I didn't go to medical school, so forgive me if there's any of my nurses out there. Just please let me know in the comments. I don't want to offend, but I legitimately don't know. And it just made me sad that she had to like find a way to pay for her college, even though there should have been basically money in there to pay for her college. And I hope, oh, excuse me, I have the very bad hiccups. People ask me, what did I eat? I had McDonald's. I know I'm not supposed to eat McDonald's, but I was hungry and I didn't want to cook anything. So I Uber Eats at McDonald's. But back to Mama June and Elena Thompson. They were basically going back and forth about, money in a Coogan account and how the mother basically stole like $30,000 from her. And I think that that whole situation should not have been on something on TV. Even if it's for a storyline, even if it's not, they should have handled that privately. The things we put out on TV to stay relevant, right? It's kind of insane. It is kind of insane. But I think before I had the bad hiccups, I said I hope she does have a way to pay for her college. I think she does now with the show and everything. And then her sister and her brother-in-law had to like kind of scramble money to help pay for stuff. But yeah, I hated that that had to be played out on TV again, either for a storyline or not. Should have been private. Um, and that's messed up. Her mom stole her money too, and the mom is a very well-known drug addict. So I think we all know where that money would have went. So remember on the last episode, I was telling y'all how people assumed Catherine Middleton was missing and she was dead and all that stuff. Good news is that she is alive. She is still with the royal family. Bad news is that she has cancer. Now, when she announced that she was undergoing chemotherapy, I don't think she announced what type of cancer she was going through. I don't want to assume and say it was this. I don't want to assume and say it was that. But all we know for sure is that she was undergoing chemotherapy. And when you undergo chemotherapy, it's a very tough process. You lose your hair, you get sick, and all that stuff. So of course, I don't blame her for not wanting to be in the public eye with during chemotherapy because it's rough. I mean, I've seen the effects on it on other people, not in person, just like through TV and stuff. So we completely understand. I completely understand because there's still gonna be people who are hounding her like, "Where is Catherine? Catherine? Catherine?" Like, let her go through her chemotherapy without all the cameras and stuff because again, it is tough. And then not only that, she has young children, she has a husband and her family and all that stuff. So I'm gonna leave it at that. um Bernie Sanders wants to introduce a 4-day work week. I am 50-50 about this because yes, that would work. That would like take off more stress of an average person if they go to work 4 days a week. They should take off Mondays because everybody hates Mondays, of course. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that's the work week, and then back on the weekend. But I'm not for it because how is that going to work for like non-office workers? Because it is kind of stereotyped that office workers do have the 9 to 5s. What about the people in retail? What about the on-call people? What about people who, um, can only work part-time because of health issues or school obligations? So what do you want them to do? Like work? You want me to work 2 hours a week? Like that? It's kind of pointless. And I know for a fact. I had a job. I worked at a body shop, and they cut my hours because I think I want to say it's because I had to go to the doctor a lot and they didn't like it, but I had health issues. But I'm not going to go back and forth about that. So they cut my hours to 15 an hour a week, 30 on a check, and they said either you could show up 5 days a week for 2 hours, or you can show up 3 days a week for five. So I went for the 3 days a week for five for like 2 months, and I ended up leaving that company. But like that, it just doesn't make sense for certain industries. So I don't think I received a lot of clear answers for that. So if it is reintroduced or at least passed, I hope more information comes out about it. But it is a good job. I mean, a good idea for people who do work the 9 to 5s Monday through Friday. So I do support it in that sense. Selling Sunset drama. So some time ago, Christine, who was formerly Selling Sunset, she's the blonde who was kind of mean to everybody, and then she had that big, pretty, dramatic wedding. She was let go from the Oppenheimer group. Is it Oppenheimer or Oppenheimer? I watched the show and I don't know, but um, she had a little altercation with her husband, and her husband was arrested, and he filed for divorce. He's blaming her, and she's blaming him. So it's a big mess and all of that. The husband threw a bag of glass at Christine, but it landed on their son. And then he tried to come back to the house and all that stuff. But then he ended up filing for divorce. Big mess. I don't know if they settled that situation. I know that they filed for divorce, and Christine is like somewhere safe now. So I hope she is safe and the little baby's safe and okay, because he did get hit by some glass. Um, Another couple having issues, or Chelsea Lescani, she filed for divorce from her husband. Um, I don't understand what happened, because every time I saw Chelsea and her husband, they looked in love on Selling Sunset, but you never know what goes on behind closed doors. But she filed for divorce, and they have young kids too. So I hope everything works out for both of them, and I hope everything is safe and okay, and no drama between all that. Lamar Odom and Caitlyn Jenner are starting a new podcast. I am subscribed to it on Apple Podcasts. They have not even put out a new episode yet, so it's probably going to have some grand rollout for the first episode. They let's see, because I just gotta, no, it's not them. They have everything set up on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, and I don't know what's taking them so long. Maybe it's because like Lamar lives like in a different place than Caitlyn Jenner does, and maybe different scheduling. I don't know, but all I know is that let me double check. Let me see. I can just pull it up on my phone here. It's called Keeping Up with Sports, and they only put out like the first episode, which was like it was back in March of March 12th. So it's almost been a month. So I'm gonna see what happens. What do they have to? I hope they said that the Kardashians gave their blessing. They're not gonna talk about their time on the Kardashians because they're not even on the show anymore. Neither one of them. Just saying. But we'll see April 12th if they put out a full new episode. So we'll see. Congratulations to Dr. Dre. I'm a big Dr. Dre fan. Like, I've had 2 copies of every album Dr. Dre ever put out. Like, because I know folks steal. But Dr. Dre got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, as he should. And I know that was a big party where his star is. I went to Hollywood Walk of Fame back in September. I didn't really enjoy the experience of going to the Hall of Fame Walk of Fame, because when you get to like where the Chinese theater and all that stuff is, that's when it gets very overstimulating and discombobulated. And this lady ran over my baby toe with her motor scooter. I will never do that again. I'm sorry. Everything else about my LA trip I truly enjoyed except that, and my toe was hurting for the longest time after that. Absolutely not. But congratulations to Dr. Dre. He did get his Hollywood Walk of Fame. Also, there is a new album with him and Snoop Dogg coming out, which I am definitely waiting on, because every time Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg get in the studio, nothing but magic. When The Chronic came out, when Doggy Style came out, when I don't think he did anything for The Dogfather, but when The Last Meal came out, when it cost him, no, I don't think he did anything on there too. I think he did some for Rhythm and Gangsta. I think he did some for Malice in Wonderland. But this is gonna be, I think, a collaboration album. So like how, Bone Thugs and Harmony, 2 Bone Thugs members, they do an album or something. So I think it's gonna be that situation. I cannot wait for it. So I know it's gonna be good, and I know I'm gonna like every song on it. So I can't wait. And congratulations, Dr. Dre. I am truly happy for you, as the biggest fan you'll ever have. I am a big Dre fan. I had the Beats, But something happened, and I thought something was wrong with them, so I gave them to my brother, and all he did was put new cushions on them, and those are his now. And I have bows, but I might get another pair of Beats. I don't know. Lastly, I want to talk about Nickelodeon. Me personally, I think I'm never going to watch Nickelodeon ever again. Um, Even though like Dan Schneider has no affiliation with Nickelodeon, it's just I don't know, like when I watch old episodes of All That, I get uncomfortable when I see clips of All That, um when I hear like the theme song, just I get uncomfortable. And since my name is Amanda, and people used to sing the Amanda Show theme song to me a lot, I wonder if they're gonna stop that too. Because it's like, man, like I hope people's eyes are now open. I hope they don't sing that song anymore. Um, Also, shame on the cast members of Ned's Declassified. They were laughing at the whole situation. Why? It's a severe situation. Why are you laughing at that? It's not funny. And I never watched Ned's Declassified. Never liked the show anyway. So yeah, not funny and weirdos. And people were attacking Josh when they say you haven't reached out to Drake and blah blah blah. And Drake had to go on the internet and say yes, he has reached out. That's what y'all get for assuming. So yes, according to Drake, Josh has reached out. And then there was a Dan Schneider interview. He was talking a bunch of nothing. He was trying to make a mess smaller than what it was, but Dan Snyder, you have been exposed. And that's why it's like, I won't watch Nickelodeon anymore. I mean, I think SpongeBob should take its ownership somewhere and run because SpongeBob is so beloved, and I hate to punish SpongeBob collectively. But yeah, I can't watch Nickelodeon anymore after what we know now. So we'll see what happens. Again, Crash Hollywood, y'all. Crash Hollywood. So I think we're gonna stop right here. Thank y'all so much for listening. Please do not forget to follow me on social media. I will put all my handles in the description. You can follow me on YouTube, like, share, subscribe. Also, I have my graphic t-shirt store on Poshmark. I am still working on that. So if you guys like graphic t-shirts, get you one. They're at a very, very good price. I try to stick with like the Salvation Army pricing because I love Salvation Army pricing. And you know what else is crazy? Y'all know I'm a big ThreadUp fan, and then sometimes the stuff I have on ThreadUp, I find in the Salvation Army much cheaper, so I have to end up taking it off my ThreadUp wish list because I've already bought it. And then I gotta tell y'all this too. I'm a big Lulu Ganes fan, right? So Lulu Ganes is like this colorful purse collection. Not real Lulu Ganes, but like the OG Lulu Ganes pieces where you get off like luluganes.com and all that stuff. Those are the expensive pieces. Now, at the time when they came out in JCPenney's, my brother was working there and he bought me like the blue traveler bag. I still have that bag, but the handles are not in the best condition. The bag itself, like the compartments and stuff, are in great condition, but it's just the handles that I need to figure out how to fix that. Um, they were they were reasonable, like probably $20 to $50 a bag, right? So I had a Lulu Ganes satchel, but unfortunately my ex-boyfriend stole from me. So I found the bag on ThreadUp, right? Again, I love ThreadUp. This is not bashing them. The satchel was on ThreadUp for like $87. So I go on Mercury, the app where you find, it's like Poshmark, but for like different stuff. This person was selling it on Mercury for like $16. So of course I bought like the $16 one. I'm still waiting for them to ship it off too, but I can't wait to get it. And I'm so grateful for that. Saved me a lot of money. And two, I'm sad that my ex-boyfriend stole that bag from me because those who know me know I love Lulu Ganes, and I hate that they stopped selling it at Home Depot, or not Home Depot, JCPenney. But yeah, I can't wait to get my hands back on that bag because I loved it. I never really got a chance to use it because, again, my ex stole it from me when I had just bought it. Um, but yeah, that's neither here nor there. Thank you again for listening. My graphic t-shirt store is Mandy and Graphics on Poshmark. And again, I'll put all my other handles in the description. I have the hiccups. I'm sorry. Lastly, people are asking me when is the new book coming out. I am aiming towards fall. I gotta still type it out, but I cannot wait for you guys to read it. Thank you again for all your listenings, all of your messages, all the follows, and all that stuff. I gotta go because I feel like I'm gonna knock something else over and I don't want to get in trouble for it. So I'll talk to y'all next episode. Peace.